the network for the AV industry.
What are you listening to?
This
This is AV.
This
is AV Nation.
This is AV Nation.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the MHO show. My name's Chris Netto. I am one of the hosts. I got two very special co-hosts with me. Let's go down to Atlanta with Melissa. Melissa, how are you?
I'm doing well. How about you, Chris?
I am doing well. Let's just make this clear. You are the hostess with the mostest. I practice that all day.
Hostess with the most. Actually, the closest I get to hostess is a Twinkie, but whatever.
And they are gone. So the Twinkies were sold. This was all over Twitter about a year ago or a year and a half ago.
They're back, Chris.
They're back.
Yeah, we've got to keep Chris in the loop.
When it comes to snack foods, yeah, I'm not down. Not that I look like I miss many snacks, but I'm not a fan of any of those prepackaged snack cakes. It just didn't happen when I was young. Speaking of a snack, Mike, snacks, you like them?
Chris, I have no idea where you were going with that, so we can stop that right there.
I love throwing out those weird.
Speaking of snacks, interesting.
Your thoughts on snacks? That'll be the topic of the show.
I don't even know what to say to that.
How about we just say that you are Mike Shin and you're here to party?
Yeah, that's it. Thank you. We'll start there.
We'll start there. Okay, so when we are not making fun of each other and palling around, we are in the AV industry. And so the question for today that came into us is the whole, oh God, I'm going to say it, conversion. And the whole merger of AV and IT, you know, that dead horse that we've beat for over the last 3 years, that topic of discussion, I got to resurrect it one more time. And why? Because the AV-IT industry obviously is going through its change. We're all merged. It's happened. I get it. So the question that has come in is, for every seminar that we go to, for every Infocom, NSCA, CEDIA thing that we're going to, people are up there telling you got to hire not AV people, you got to hire the people out of DeVry and MIT, and you need to hire IT people because they know. So my question that has come up is, if they know, and we've had a history of finding AV people in the oddest places, from the car industry to roadies, my question is, where are those former people going? Are we shifting that much in the industry that we are now leaving the audio pros out of it? Are we leaving the video experts out of it in turn because we need to hire the young kid who understands IP? Mike, we'll start with you on this one. What are your thoughts on the former pool of talent that we used to be able to go out and hire and work with, now being left in the dust?
Well, I think it's very interesting perspective. I would agree that there is now a market that is shifting and therefore changing the type of talent that we're looking for. But looking back on everything that we have heard over the last 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, hasn't everybody been complaining that they can't find any of that talent anyway? So is it really a concern that former audio engineers for broadcast studios or lighting engineers for lighting designers for rock shows, they're not really coming into our industry anymore anyway. At least that's just my opinion, and kind of the whole purpose to so many different recruitment programs that Infocom, NSCA, and everybody and their mothers is trying to push for. My question really is, does that event world, is that event world going to start to need some of this IT talent, this networking talent, when you start talking about Dante and how Dante communicates across a network? A lot of lighting is moving in this direction. Video has been there for a while. Perhaps there's a talent pool that is a bit of a gap in that world right now that needs to be addressed as well.
Melissa, what are your thoughts? The AV roadies or the traditional AV talent pool, are they being depleted or left behind, or what's your thoughts on it?
Okay, so I have the very unpopular opinion, but it's my humble opinion, that the full convergence never takes place. That the personality and mindset than that of the AV guy. So, all right, so the connectivity issues aside, pulling cable, that being put aside. The IT guy and the AV guy are just vastly different. Example, right? Most of us came from music, or we have some sort of artistic background or something. I was just prepping some paintings that I'm getting ready to do some oils, right? We do that because the key component to AV is artistic, right? We go into a room and figure out how to make things work, what the needs of the room is, as far as I'm going to put something every 5 feet or 6 feet or whatever it is. We're much more artistic in the way we approach it. So from that standpoint, I think there's still always going to be a place for the AV guy.
Now, it's funny you mentioned that, because I actually heard in the conversation today, as a matter of fact, that I had, is that IT guys see things in ones and zeros, and AV people see things in RGB. And the way that came across, I thought about that, and I was wondering, I'm like, you're right. And it goes back to the artistic nature of it. Obviously, Mike was a student of interpretive dance, and I spent some time in mime school. I mean, I understand how this works. And I'm just kidding. Mike was not an interpreter. I have no chance of being a mime.
It was not interpretive dance. It was the ballet, sir.
There you go. Well, it could have been the ballet. All making fun of the fact, God, that at the core of it, you're right. There has to be a vision behind an empty room as we approach rooms, and we're going to get very artsy on you, but it's an empty canvas. Oh, the references are just going to keep coming out. It is an empty canvas, not campus, that we work with. So we have to envision how these things are going to lay out, not just from an engineering and scientific way, and we do all of our calculations from the sight lines and what's the best place to hear certain things, and we take our time on the engineering side of the house to do that. But one of the things that I've always appreciated is the companies and the people that are going to take it to this to an approach where it aesthetically has to be part of the room design. A lot of failures that I've seen in rooms have been rooms that it's just hang the monitor, just hang the screen, don't size the screen, don't get the right, just get a 15,000 lumen projector and shoot the cannon through it, burn a hole through the screen, who cares, it's bright, we're going to make it work, we're going to force it, square peg, round hole. But no, the proper way to do it and the right way to do it is when you have somebody who comes in with vision. So I agree with you 100%. Mike, what's your thoughts?
Absolutely. I mean, look at the number of matte white screens that exist in the world, and now we're talking about HD progressive screens and how that technology makes the image pop, and that's the artistic piece that we bring to the table. That's the thing that is not going to get thought of by the networking administrator or the software developer. So I do agree with that. I'm just wondering how many people who were working on the road and were learning the art form of audio, video, lighting, set design, how many of them are really coming off the road anymore? I'm seeing a lot of people just staying out on the road for their full career. It used to be that you'd go out on the road, you'd get bored with it after 10 years, and you'd come fall into the AV industry. So I just don't know that the trend is still happening.
It's kind of an awkward thing, because the more and more you see at technology shows, for example, at Infocom, those devices that people used to build studios around are getting a lot smaller, a lot more portable. People are working and recording artists are working on the road. Most of their material is cut on the road and then mixed in a studio. I think that, in general, that roadie or that front of house engineer, if he is that good, he will continue working within that, within that space, whether it's live events and concert production, or if he is brought into a studio because he has the chops that, whatever band it is, would like to have that person in-house. So yeah, that, you're right, Melissa, that will stay around because the convergence will never completely converge. Mike, you're right, in the sense that, it's not just an AV-IT, it's not just an IT world in that sense. I think there is still a need for what we do. It's just that the pool has shrunk. What this used to be, what AV used to be for the roadies or the front of house guys at the time, was that it was their permanent work. It was the alternative to being on the road, And maybe being on the road 20 years ago really sucked, as opposed to now. I mean, God, look at the tour buses and jet planes that these people, they make their money on the road now. So I don't know. I was sent this question, and it made me think. What is the flip to the AV-IT side of it? And we did get a lot of people from different types of industries. Melissa, your thoughts?
So I wonder if we didn't say the same thing when projector carts went away. And oh no, what's going to happen? You don't remember those, Chris. You're too young. But some of us remember, wheeling the little cart with the projector on it.
Projectors
down the halls.
Projectors were that big that needed a cart.
Little slide projectors. Don't you remember those?
Oh, slide projectors. I'm thinking. Wow, I'm thinking 3-ton Stony barrels. The big.
No.
What's a slide?
Yeah, okay. See, exactly.
Not the things you play in the park, Mike. Not that.
I wonder if it's not just a natural progression. And every time there's this big change or rollover in the technology, we don't say, this is the end of whatever. I think we'll all find a way, and there will always be a need. Yes, that need you'll have to shift. Mm-hmm. You'll have to learn new technologies. You're going to have to be able to change, but we've always had to be able to change, and we've always had to learn. That's what makes us so unique to other industries. That's my soapbox.
Mike, you have any closing thoughts on this?
No, I think we covered it. I would agree that there will always be a need for the artistic side of what we do, and there will always be a growing need for more networking skills and more people that are involved on the IT side of things to get more involved with what we do. And those, in many ways, are skill sets that mix like oil and water. So trying to find the perfect talent of somebody who understands advanced networking security and can program a Crestron touch panel, that's not necessarily going to be somebody just walking in off the street. That's high talent. That's very unique talent. And typically, you either started with one and learned the other, or vice versa. So I think that the problems that we're facing with staffing in the industry are just ever growing and ever evolving, and we just need to start being smarter about how we develop our people professionally, how we train them, because there's not going to be a MIT program for audiovisual arts yet, although Jeremy Caldera is doing his best to try and get one going.
So there you have it. Thank you, Mike and Melissa, for helping romanticize what AV is and taking it to a bygone era. I appreciate that. So in the words of Pearl Jam, it's evolution, baby. That's basically what it's come down to. And the industry has evolved. Those people will still be there. They may not be needed in the quantities that we once did, but there is still a need for that guy who's going to walk into a glass conference room and clap his hands and go, this needs to be fixed, because that IT guy cannot do that. There you have it, folks. This is the MHO Show. My name's Chris Netto. I am one of the hosts. I am joined all the time by the same two fabulous co-hosts that I have. Melissa, how can people find you online?
Hey, you can find me on Twitter at Melissa Tillman. Happy to talk anytime you'd like.
Excellent. Mike, where can we find you?
Get back, JoJo. I can be found on Twitter at AXPMike and LinkedIn and all of the other social mediums.
Appreciate that, and I'm sure the viewers will appreciate getting that information. Thank you again, ladies and gentlemen, for listening to the MHO show. We appreciate your time. We appreciate your topics. We appreciate your feedback. So as the show that is known to have all killer and no filler, thank you for watching MHO. Thank you for listening. This has been the MHO show.